Champions Cup first round is done and dusted, folks. The Premiership are the competition who just edged the kind of win and loss ratio for the opening round with 5 wins and 3 losses. The top 14 have the reverse, and the URC sides are in the middle. We'll go through the round, as I said, and you guys can let us know your thoughts. I'm going to rely on you guys to fill in quite a few blanks for me in this one, if you don't mind. With my old man passing away a couple of weeks ago now, I've been watching a little bit less rugby, but I'm sure you guys will be able to fill me in on what I have been missing. So apologies for not reviewing as many games as I might otherwise have, but I have been spending a fair bit of time with my mum, which I think is probably not a bad thing to be doing. Bayonne and the Stormers was the opening game of the round alongside Sale and Glasgow. I didn't see the Stormers and Bayonne, but I have caught up on some highlights of that one. That one was a little bit of a surprise because it's one of 5 away wins. Champions Cup often sees a few kind of, you call them B teams, heading away from home. Stormers away from home in South Africa. South African teams not really famously successful on the road, but 26 points to 17. Who's this guy, Ahmad Khan? I don't think I've seen him play before, but he seems to have had a pretty decent Champions Cup debut. You had Etouria, the big French loose forward, getting a try assist from a kick, so it seems like it was pretty much all on. Bunch of cards. The Stormers had a red card. The yellow cards came out for both sides. The Stormers scored the winner when it was 14 men against 13. So it seems like it was a pretty bonkers one, but a good away win for the Stormers, and especially when we had a look at the kind of preseason odds, some people were saying, oh, look out for Bayonne. Maybe. Well, they've dropped a game at home, which is apparently a pretty hard place to go, so credit to the Stormers for that one. Sale and Glasgow, we did a full match review for that one, but that's one of the 2 games which actually has a losing bonus point in it. Sale will be pretty disappointed to drop that one at home, especially after having an early lead, but Glasgow maybe keep up a little bit of their potential as a potential dark horse in the competition. Remember, not that long ago that they won the URC, so 26-21, they missed a whole heap of chances in that game, to be fair. Glasgow, but away from home, bonus point win. Can't really complain about too much. And then Saracens against Clermont. Sadly, I haven't seen a second of this one. Apologies, Saracens fans. That's a big old win, 47 points to 10. That's kind of what I think when I think French team away from home, start of the Champions Cup, if they're not too fussed about the competition. If that's not what happened, apologies. If Clermont put out a strong team and got well beaten by a better Saracens team, again, let me know. But if Clermont put out a B team and Saracens flogged them, that's kind of what my gut tells me based on that scoreline. But 47-10, cracking start for the Saris lads. Bulls Bordeaux was, I feel like, one of the games to watch this week. Bordeaux away down in South Africa, sent down a strong team. Jalibert was absolutely pulling the strings on everything. Scored a try, set up a couple. Defenders beaten, line breaks, everything. You name it, he had it in that game pretty much. Although it was a bit of a tit-for-tat game, with the Bulls leading for large periods. I think at halftime was at 33-22. But yeah, Bordeaux managed to pull away in the second half of that one, 46-33. There were 10,000 people at that game, but at Loftus, 10,000 just looks empty. It's the same as Eden Park. Eden Park and Super Rugby, when it gets 10,000 fans, it just looks empty. So, I don't know. Is it a hard sell? Because it's bloody hot here in New Zealand right now. It's like 29 degrees, which for Auckland is scorching. Is it a hard sell to set people down to watch Bordeaux come to town, in summer, the start of summer down in Pretoria? You guys will have to let me know. There's not really an off-season for fans in South Africa at the moment. It's rugby. It's rugby all the time. Defenders beating that game was 25-9. So the Bordeaux guys were busting a whole heap of tackles. So entertaining game for sure. Bulls get a 4-try bonus point, so don't walk away from this one with nothing. La Rochelle and Leicester, that's the other game I did a full review for. I feel like the Leicester side, minus quite a few first-string players. I know La Rochelle were missing some as well, but Leicester away from home and missing players maybe did a bit better than expected, but still 39-20 is a pretty comfortable enough win for La Rochelle. There's kind of, question marks about the trajectory they are on at the moment, but starting the campaign with a home win, with a bonus point, they can't have too many complaints at that one. Leinster and Harlequins, again, I haven't seen that one, but I was curious to see how it would go because my boy Rico, who's a Blues man from my team here in Super Rugby, got his crack with Leinster at the weekend. As I said, I haven't seen it, but people are telling me set up a try, which is nice. Maybe endearing himself to the Leinster faithful. Fingers crossed you guys can, because he's had a bit of a mixed season here at NZ and with the ABs and whatnot. You guys can get him back to top form like you did with Geordie Barrett. That'd be nice, but 45-28, I thought it would be more lopsided. I remember the last Champions Cup season's knockout match and the Quins guys got flogged. So for Quins to get a 4-try bonus point, they don't walk away with nothing, but they did concede 45 points. So, yeah, maybe positives for both sides of that one, but good on Rico. Setting up a try. The lowest scoring match of the weekend, Bristol, way win at one point against the Scarlets. I haven't seen that one, but that is the only other losing bonus point game. But there's also another one of the away wins. By all accounts, that one was pretty ugly, but I'm only going with comments I've seen on social media for that one. So if that one's worth watching, let me know. But I get the feeling I probably won't go back and watch that one. Bath against Munster is one I was planning to watch, but instead I took my kids and then my mum to the beach. I may have been justified in going to the beach because it was 40 points to 14. Speaking of ugly, that seemed to get pretty ugly for Munster. I was following it loosely on my phone, and Bath just went bam, bam, bam. And I think when it was 21-0, I stopped following it on my phone because I figured that was pretty much going to be all she wrote. So Bath, yeah, Premiership reigning champion, star-studded team. That's a pretty good way to start the comp. Less so for Poe, who lost at home. Poe, another one of these sides that people told me don't write them off for the Champions Cup. Well, they started with a loss at home to Northampton. Northampton last season's kind of surprise package in the Champions Cup, getting all the way to the final, which I don't think many people picked them as a finalist. But yeah, away win at Poe. Cracking start for them. Poe are doing pretty well in the top 14, but they've just got rolled 35 points to 27 at home by Northampton. So Northampton's Champions Cup form seems to have returned for another season, at least in the first round. Toulouse 56-19. I've seen a bit of this one. Like, I was kind of excited to see two star-studded teams, and then I saw the Sharks line up and thought, that's less so in terms of the star-studdingness. And, like, they've had the coaching dramas with Plumtree's early exit and whatnot. So I thought the Sharks were going to get beaten by 70. They got beaten 56-19. I'm impressed they scored 19 points. I wasn't expecting that. To be fair, Toulouse had a flying start. Like, they're up 28-0. So the game's over at 28-0. The Sharks aren't winning away from home at 28-0, but they scored some tries. Kapuatsu got 3, which is as many as the Sharks got. But honestly, with that Sharks lineup being as changed as it was, missing as many as players as it was, wasn't expecting to see them get 19 points away at Toulouse. Good to see Antoine Dupont back. Cracking stuff. Gloucester and Cast, I haven't seen any of that. 34 points to 19. Premiership side gets a win over a top 14 side at home. Maybe that's to be expected by Champions Cup logic. And then Edinburgh against Toulon. I probably should have watched that this morning. That's the one game where Monday morning, I didn't roll out of bed at 6:30 to watch it. I should have. But 33-20. So top 14 sides have dropped a few results. The URC sides have finished 4-4. But the top 14 sides just won the 3. With, of the big 3 sides, if we're looking at the bookmakers odds, 2 of them were the French sides, Bordeaux and Toulouse. They both won, along with Leinster. Leinster are the other big 3 side at the moment. But, some big round 2 matches coming up. Stormers against La Rochelle. I'll be interested to see how strong a side is sent down to South Africa. Northampton against the Bulls. Bulls away from home. Probably not going to do well. Bulls don't travel well, although the Stormers just did well, but I feel like the Bulls are a worse team on the road than the Stormers. Toulon against Bath, I feel like could be a cracker. Glasgow against Toulouse. Could be very, very sexy. But yes, again, apologies for not watching as much Champions Cup as I might have. I feel like this probably exceeded my expectations. As I said, I went into this round with a little bit of kind of low expectations, thinking bunch of B teams, all the away teams are going to lose, won't be many upsets, won't be many losing bonus points. There was only the 2 losing bonus points, but some of the results were maybe, even if they were pretty emphatic wins, the manner of them were not necessarily as kind of one-sided or emphatic as suspected. You guys let us know your thoughts, please. I mean that. Like, let me know what I missed and if I should go back and check out some more highlights or whatnot. But Champions Cup round 1 in the bag. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.